This is CBS News Bay Area with Juliette Goodrich.
Hi, I'm Sarah Donchie in for Juliette. Well, when it comes to public colleges, Cal State has always been a relatively affordable option, but some parents and students worry it may not be for much longer. To make up for a budget deficit, the Board of Trustees is considering a permanent 6% increase in tuition. As our John Ramis tells us, the proposal is raising eyebrows across the state.
They say you shouldn't create permanent solutions for temporary problems. The question is, are deficits at colleges and universities really temporary, and who should be paying for them? The campus at Cal State East Bay was alive with activity as hundreds of potential transfer students arrived for an orientation event. But statewide, the CSU system is facing a $1.5 billion deficit, which they say is due to volatility in the economy. So in a statement, they propose a solution. Quote, the CSU plans to remedy perennial underfunding and build stability into its budget by proposing a 6% annual tuition increase, which is $342 for the 2024-25 school year, its first year of implementation. But Nolan Calera, president of Cal State East Bay's Associated Students, says the plan is not going over so well with those who would be paying the bill.
Price is it's a major issue. In fact, a lot of the students come here to the CSUs for affordable tuition. And if we increase this tuition by 6% every year, what would make us different from the University of California schools?
CSU says the Board of Trustees would review the tuition rate schedule every 5 years, but Calera doesn't find much comfort in that.
Even though there is a consultation every 5 years, it still doesn't make me secure as a student that they're going to actually stop this 6% increase every year.
Dr. Sherry Hu, with a private college advising company called Beyond Academy, says many parents are unsure whether they will be able to afford college for their kids, even in the CSU system.
Before it's like, oh, whatever my children can get into, we'll do our best to support them. Now they realized it become inhibiting.
Antonio Gomez feels that way after sending his son Bobby through Cal State East Bay.
Families having a 6% increase every year, and they only getting maybe 1 or 2% in the salaries, and everything else is going up. So something has to fall through the cracks. And education shouldn't fall through the cracks because, again, education is, I think, is a right.
But the question remains, how much of the burden should fall on students anyway? The state is spending billions to bail out public transit without asking riders to pay more. But students and parents have to raise $850 million in the next 5 years to keep the colleges going.
$1 spent in the CSU is $7 in our economy when a student graduates. So it's a really worthwhile investment for the state to be investing in our students. And that's why we believe that it's not necessarily only the responsibility of our students to be investing in their education.
CSU points out that 60% of its students receive financial assistance and would not be subject to any tuition increases. But critics say that only means the entire burden will be on the backs of the remaining 40%.
If the proposal goes through, a full-time undergraduate student will pay $5,700 a year to attend school. By 2028, tuition would go up to $7,600. The vote on the proposal is not expected until September, and that vote will happen under new leadership. The trustees made history today by appointing Dr. Mildred Garcia as their new chancellor. She's the first Latina to hold the post. Dr. Garcia is currently the president of the American Association of State Colleges and Universities. All right, now to that weekend heat wave on the way. Some inland spots could see very high temperatures starting on Friday, dangerously high, we're talking, right, Paul?
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday are going to be the peak of this heat wave. The good news is it's not going to last all that long, especially compared to other parts of the state. The San Joaquin Valley is going to be cooking for a while, and temperatures around Sacramento are going to be over 110 this weekend.
Oh, my gosh.
At least we're not experiencing that. You wouldn't guess it's on the way. The fog is still out there. It's a compact marine layer. I love this shot. Suture Tower looks very lonely, just kind of peeking its head up above the low cloud cover rolling in. Temperature in the city only topped out in the mid-60s today. Inland temperatures were in the 80s to around 90, which is where we're supposed to be this time of year. And tomorrow, we're also going to be very close to average for the middle of July. Everybody within a degree or two on either side of normal, mostly 60s, 70s, and 80s, just the warmest spots reaching into the low 90s. The 90s become more widespread on Friday. Friday, and then Saturday and Sundays when we're under an excessive heat warning. Now, inland temperatures are going to vary quite a bit, between 90 and 105, which is a wide range. Temperatures inland of the North Bay, mostly mid to upper 90s, mostly low 90s in the Santa Clara Valley. Those numbers really aren't worthy of an excessive heat warning. It's more of a heat advisory scenario. Far inland in the East Bay, where temperatures get up to around 105 degrees, from Fairfield to Antioch to Brentwood, that's where it becomes dangerously hot. So make sure you're staying hydrated. Have a plan to beat the heat. You got a couple days to get ready for it while we're still in the midst of this normal July pattern. We'll take a look at the specific numbers for different parts of the Bay Area coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Paul, thank you. PG&E is not planning on any preemptive power shutoffs during this heat wave, but it is warning that unplanned outages are a possibility if the electric grid gets too overloaded. The heat also means, as always, elevated fire danger. We were out in Hayward today, where members of Vallejo's newest fire academy were getting some very realistic training. One of the drills involved busting down a door and then going inside a burning building.
It's a rush, honestly. The moment that you see that door get popped open, you see the smoke billowing out of the door, you know it's a time that we're called upon. This is a time that we go out and we do our job for the public, serve the public. And there's nothing but more of an adrenaline rush than to just enter through the door. You can't see anything and you're just feeling the heat, but you always revert back to your training.
This is the final drill where the recruits can experience the smoke and the heat and the confusion of going into a fire in a controlled environment. Then it is on to responding to the real emergencies. Well, as part of our new series, Project Earth, we're looking at how climate change fuels more extreme wildfires. Tonight, David Schechter has the story of 2 forests that burned, but only one of them is bouncing back.
We're about to walk up into some areas here that have been just incredibly, horribly burned and talk about why they're not growing back.
So this whole hillside would have been forested before the fire.
This is Kim Davis, a research ecologist with the U.S. Forest Service. She studies how forests recover or don't recover from today's fires that are burning hotter.
This fire burned in 2000.
That long ago?
Yeah, so it's been a long time.
Wow.
And we still don't see...
Not much is going back.
Nothing's really coming back.
Why is this area not coming back?
Where we're standing right now is really far away from any living trees that survived the fire. And so there aren't seeds getting dispersed into this area.
So the trees were just so destroyed that there are no seeds around.
Exactly.
To regenerate.
Yes. And so that's the first reason.
The second, she's telling me, is climate change. They've replanted trees up here. That's what's in those little blue tubes. But in a warmer climate, this spot that gets direct sun is now hotter than it used to be 50 years ago.
Adult trees are less sensitive to climate. So they have really deep roots. They have thick bark. They can handle drier and warmer conditions. And seedlings are really tiny. And as we walk around and look in here, you'll see a lot of them are dead. They can't get to the deeper soil water.
This little seedling here would have done well before the climate was different.
It likely would have been growing, yeah. It's pretty clear when you come out in some of these areas that we're definitely seeing changes already due to climate change.
Why are we going up this way? What are we going to see?
Well, I just wanted to bring you up here to show you, what a forest looks like when it is recovering. And just to give you a taste of what my life is like in the field.
Kim's telling me this part of the forest we're walking through also caught fire, but it didn't burn as hot as the first location we went to.
The fire did burn through here. You can see there's char on those trees over there. And it killed some trees, but it left some as well. And so there's lots of trees around to provide seeds. They're also providing some shade that's making it cooler and better for seedlings growing in the understory.
So the little guys can grow up if the big guys are giving them some shade.
Yeah.
So as long as you save this little island, this oasis, it can propagate the rest of the areas.
Yep. Yeah. Anything we can do to keep some of the mature trees on the landscape really helps the forest recover. 4, 5, 6, 7.
And we're counting the little seedlings that are now doing great. Whereas in the other location, there weren't any of them. 51.
52.
Oh, it's doing great down here.
Yeah. 53, 54, 55. Feel pretty confident that this is going to recover.
So is this hopeful for you, or this is just, it is? Yeah.
Yeah, Well, of course, I love seeing baby trees that are growing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to come to sites that have trees coming back.
This Friday at 7:30, we will take a closer look at the issue and some potential solutions. Our half-hour special will air right here on KPIX and streaming on CBS News Bay Area with an encore Saturday at 7 o'clock. Well, tonight we have learned that petroleum coke dust release from Martinez Refining Company actually lasted for half an hour, not 1 minute, as the health department first said. The refinery says the dust got caught up in a steam plume when a piece of machinery was restarted following repairs. The Air District is having samples of that released dust analyzed now. In the meantime, it has issued a notice of violation to the refinery. Oakland police are warning about an uptick in armed home invasion robberies. There have been several recent reports from the Laurel, North Hills, Joaquin Miller, and Greater San Antonio neighborhoods. So far, no one has been hurt. Police are advising people to keep windows and doors locked, install a security system, utilize outdoor lighting, and trim hedges to eliminate potential hiding spots.